Christopher, what are you doing?
Docking.
Endurance rotation is 67, 68 RPM.
Okay, get ready to match our spin with the retro thrusters.
It's not possible.
No, it's necessary.
Hey guys, and welcome to my video where I'll be talking about Christopher Nolan. He is best known for creating very cerebral and often non-linear storytelling in his films. He was born on July 30th, 1970 in London, England. At 7 years old, Nolan began making short movies with his father's Super 8 camera while studying English literature at the University College in London. Christopher Nolan's filmmaking career started in the late 20th century with his first film in 1998 called The Following. It tells the story of a young man who follows strangers around the streets of London and is drawn into the criminal underworld when he fails to keep his distance.
Just became irresistible.
So you followed women?
I followed anybody. I just wanted to see where they went, what they did. It was supposed to just be completely random.
Which was made on a $6,000 budget and was classified as a noir thriller, which had gotten international recognition from multiple film festivals prior to its theatrical release, which also gained Nolan enough credibility that he was able to gather substantial financing for his next film, Memento, and was released in 2000, which he directed from his own screenplay based on a short story by his brother Jonathan, starring Guy Pearce. The film brought notorious honors including Academy Award and a Golden Globe Award nomination for Best Original Screenplay. Nolan went on to direct the critically acclaimed psychological thriller Insomnia just 2 years later, starring Al Pacino, Robin Williams, and Hilary Swank. Memento, which tells the story of a husband looking for the man who raped and murdered his wife. But his career would change forever in 2005, when he was given the opportunity to work with an A-list character and comic book hero.
I'm gonna kill him.
The big turning point for Nolan's career occurred when he was given the chance to direct and revive the Batman franchise in 2005 in Batman Begins, starring Christian Bale. Nolan brought a level of gravitas back to the iconic hero, and his gritty, modern interpretation was greeted with praise from fans and critics alike, which paved the way for a sequel which would change everything.
Harvey Dent never made it home.
Of course not.
What have you done with him?
Me? I was right here. Who did you leave him with? Your people? Assuming, of course, that they are still your people and not Maroni's. Does it depress you, Commissioner, to know just how alone you really are?
From all of Nolan's films that came before, The Dark Knight is seen as being one of his most prestigious achievements in his career and also that of cinema itself, where even though you have the protagonist and you have the antagonist, you have all these other characters that play such a vital role and can change from being good to bad and bad to good, and you're not sure who the good guys are in films like these. You know the Joker, played by Heath Ledger, is presenting his point of view of chaos being the best way to move forward rather than living in what he would describe as being the old world, corrupt and unchangeable. Christopher Nolan creates this clashing of ideals, being that the Joker obviously believes in chaos and the world can't be saved, and the only kind of world to live in is the one of chaos, because everything's unpredictable and it changes, while what he perceives to be the old world is corrupt and unchangeable, which means it needs to go. Where compared to Batman, he believes in hope and that things can change for the better. There are a great deal of many things to say great about The Dark Knight, from the many different symbolism of humanity's struggle between the light and the dark to the not so happy ending, which many films get today, but this film doesn't get a happy ending. Even though the Joker has been caught, the damage has been done. So really, he is a MacGuffin of this film, where you can hurt him, but he doesn't change. Nothing phases him, nothing evolves there. He's there for one purpose: to create chaos. Christopher Nolan is about bringing realism to cinema and bringing real human elements such as betrayal, pain, suffering, chaos, like the Joker. He brings these elements into his films because they're real human elements and real things that we deal with in today's world.
There's one thing you should know about me. I specialize in a very specific type of security. Subconscious security.
You're talking about dreams.
Mr. Cobb has a job offer we would like to discuss with you.
What kind of work placement?
Not exactly.
We create the world of the dream.
After his run with the Dark Knight trilogy, which would bring him to new levels of success and credibility in the film industry, his next task was to make Inception, which has the main protagonist played by Leonardo DiCaprio, entering the dreams and planting an idea in someone's mind. Normally, the protagonist of his team only invades dreams to steal secrets, and they aren't sure by Inception being the planting of an idea into someone's mind, which is the main premise of this film, by penetrating the many different levels of someone's mind in an attempt to plant something that may change that person's. But the unfortunate side effect is that the many more times you delve yourself into someone's mind, you can become consumed by the dream itself, and it becomes your new reality, which is what they actively attempt to resist. Because once you can't tell between what's real and what's not, what's real anymore in the end, other than what you see with your own eyes in front of you, which is the ultimate trap. Before I move on to my final Christopher Nolan film in-depth look, I would like to thank Dose Coffee for providing high-quality coffee, which contributed to the success and creativity of this video. Thank you.
My name is General Zod. I have journeyed across an ocean of stars to reach you. Your world has sheltered one of my citizens. He will look like you, but he is not one of you. To those of you who know of his location, the fate of your planet rests in your hands. To Kal-El, I say this.
Now, my spotlight film I'll be talking briefly but in depth about is Man of Steel, which some of you may be aware what was directed by Zack Snyder but was produced and the story was crafted by Christopher Nolan, who ended up bringing a lot of his grounded realism from his other films such as the Dark Knight trilogy, which has played well with helping to create a relatability to audiences. Prologue clip being shown right now of the destruction of Krypton, which really sinks in where Kal-El is coming from and what he might have to face in the future. Obviously, with what we know about Superman and his mythology. I felt that it was important to bring this film to light. Not that it was obviously not directed by Christopher Nolan and not only produced by him, but that you're able to find a running trend through all the projects, or most projects that he works on, of the idea of using realism and depth to help bridge a greater connection with audiences. Like from the start, he doesn't know who he is. Kal-El, Clark Kent, doesn't know who he is, but when he finds out who he is, there's this great amount of weight that's put on him because he finds out that he is the last of his people, and that now he must try to strike the balance between who he is and where he's lived compared to where he was born, which is something that resonates all through the film when he finally meets his antagonist, Zod, who wants to revive Krypton, which would mean the extermination of the human race, which creates a conflict of personal emotions and feelings within the character.